grid in Ontario is under a lot of pressure because of a number of things. You know, there hasn't been a lot of new generation built. There's a growth in the economy.
We actually were importing a lot of electricity from the United States, and people should know that that electricity we're importing not only was very expensive, but it was extremely dirty. That is coming from some of the oldest, dirtiest coal-fired plants in North America. They're in the Ohio Valley, just right upwind from us. So on those hot summer days when it was not only hot and sticky, but it was smoggy, when we were bringing power in from the importing power, because we had to, from the Ohio Valley, that pollution was coming right over and sitting on top of Toronto. So it was the worst possible world.
You might not have power. And you know, people were so used to just simply turning on a switch and expecting something to happen. All of a sudden, when that didn't happen, what would your life be like? How would you cope? What would you do?
But the reality is that electricity supply is stretched. Without new generation coming on board in the province, the most viable solution for the province as far as electricity supply goes is conservation. So Toronto Hydro's main priority is to help educate customers in ways that they can conserve electricity.
This is energy conservation is a huge problem, and it's going to be a huge issue over the next 25 to 50 years.
People in Ontario have been spoiled with very cheap electricity for a long time. We've got some very bad habits. Our industry, our hospitals, our schools, our office buildings, ourselves at home, we've got some very bad habits. And there's a rude awakening that's starting to happen. People have started to see out already with their electricity bills, and they're not going to go down.
This is the Bright Ideas campaign. It's a joint venture between the Summerhill Group, Toronto Hydro, and Home Depot.
The one we're working on with Home Depot right now is our Bright Ideas campaign, which is really the campaign where you can get 2 energy efficient bulbs from Home Depot.
The Bright Ideas campaign is running in Home Depot stores from September 16th to October 30th. Toronto Hydro has invited all City of Toronto households to come to one of the 12 Toronto Home Depot stores and pick up their 2 free compact fluorescent light bulbs.
Today we're giving away 2 free CFL light bulbs courtesy of Toronto Hydro. So it's an energy conservation program, and each household is getting 2 free light bulbs, and we're trying to educate the public as well about energy conservation.
We've begun to look for alternate ways to ensure that we have enough electricity in the province. And one of the ways, and that is actually a priority of our company now, is to talk about conservation. How do we encourage our customers, both residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, to conserve electricity?
Bright Idea campaign alone, they're projecting that it will result in about 320,000 CFL light bulbs going into people's homes in Toronto. That's about 12 megawatts. That's about 1% of the whole target for the province of Ontario to be achieved by this one program over a few weeks.
In the first week of the campaign alone, we've reached 118% of our target. So we're really pleased with the way we've managed to split up the stores and the way that we're proceeding.
Well, the Bright Ideas campaign will certainly help to create awareness to consumers about compact fluorescent lighting.
I mean, it's a very good campaign because it's getting the word out in a very broad-based way.
Educating people about energy conservation, environmental issues is important, and I think that small steps we can make a change.
It's that increase that awareness level. If we can get the people to find new ways of doing it, new ways of using energy, and come out with a better social equation at the end, then I think we've done our job collectively.
So what we decided to do collectively, Toronto Hydro, the Home Depot, and the Summerhill Group, we sat down in a war room and we hashed it out.
It's essential to have these sort of partnerships involved, and I think it gives a great deal of credibility to the programs when people recognize names of companies, Phillips and Home Depot and the Toronto Hydro. And Toronto Hydro said, with our programs, we also want to see a 5% reduction in our demand by 2007. And I've challenged other utilities across the province to do the same thing.
Utilities can't do this all by themselves, and we like to partner with prominent businesses.
Well, this arrangement we have with Home Depot, we are way ahead of our curve. Like it's unbelievable how far ahead we are.
See, will you send that to me because I could put it into my results meeting with the Premier?
Absolutely.
It's only 12 stores.
Yeah, 12 stores, and it's just in Toronto. Imagine if we did Home Depot across Canada.
Yeah, we have 137 stores.
It'd be unbelievable.
I was sure telling me how many employees in Canada.
26,000.
The best way to describe Home Depot is really that we are the #1 home improvement retailer, both in North America and also in Canada. Bar none, we are the #1. Working with Canada's biggest utility and working with Canada's biggest home improvement retailer, it was a marriage made in heaven. We could bring the synergies of both corporations together.
Some people would say, well, why don't you just do that as a company? Well, we can't, because we don't have the market reach that Home Depot does. Home Depot is in the communities all over our city. People go there all the time. It's a great brand. It's a place that people go to when they want things for their house, materials for their home. So why not brand? So we go right in their store, and we do this stuff right in the store. We don't say, let's go off-site and do it somewhere else with a Toronto Hydro sign and a Home Depot sign. We go right in the Home Depot store, and it's fantastic. It's a tremendous opportunity.
How do you do? I'm Donna Cansfield, the Minister of Energy. How do you do, sir? Nice to meet you. It does make a huge difference. Thank you for coming. Yep. And all of us together.
Yeah, I'm a big user of Home Depot personally. So, I don't go to Home Depot just to run in and buy something. I could spend a day at Home Depot wandering around. But the neat thing about Home Depot is that people go to Home Depot for information as well as a product.
Not that I'm a very handy person, but I find when I have a question, I always get the right answers here. The help is just wonderful.
Home Depot is a very good place to go shopping for the home. I'm not surprised to see the bulb given away here.
Everybody else's talk. Home Depot is where the rubber hits the road.
So through our store network, through the customer base of Toronto Hydro, the two of them put together made it so that this was a win-win situation. We could reach out and touch a lot of people and brighten up their day.
So in essence, what we see happening in this campaign is potentially 1.6 million households walking through the Home Depot, standing in a lineup in the Bright Ideas campaign, walking away with 2 free compact fluorescent light bulbs courtesy of Toronto Hydro.
Once they go through the line, they go to one of the processors who punches in their address, and then from there they get a voucher. Then they're told to go to the closer, and the closer gives them their bulbs and gives them also a mail-in rebate, and then gets them to go through the cashier.
Myself personally, I think it's a great idea. I've learned so much just in training and by being here that I'm a convert now to the CFL bulbs.
For the Bright Ideas campaign, Toronto Hydro and the Home Depot worked with the Summerhill group to hire 60 representatives who would work at the store level as Bright Ideas campaign reps. Those reps were trained over a 4-day period at the beginning of September, 4 8-hour days of training for a program. It was a very extensive program, and some of them even said that they've never ever begun a job and felt so prepared to do that job. These 60 people represented more than 24 languages. They came from all walks of life. And you're standing there and you're thinking, this is Toronto.
This is like a rock and roll concert tour we're trying to put together here. Hiring all these people, buying all these laptops, running it all into the city to get all these little things to pull together. And when when you go to a concert, all you see is the 4 or 5 musicians on stage. But there's a whole organization of people at the back that make it happen. And that's what we have in this room. So thank you very much. You're making my job look really easy when it's really not that easy. But thank you so much. Again, Toronto Hydro, Home Depot, Summerhill Group, and all the people in this room. I mean, this is probably the best thing I've ever done in my career. So thanks for being part of that.
So basically, we pulled into the stores, we got a great big lumber cart and loaded it full, and we also would load a shopping cart full of stuff. We had 16 boxes, great big boxes. Each box had a booth in it. Another 16 big boxes full of various flyers and so on. The first thing we generally did was set up the booths, which we got really good at by the end. It went pretty quick, but so we get those set up and get the signage on.
It went pretty well. We got them all up pretty quick. We got to meet with all the Home Depot staff, which were really friendly and approachable. They helped us with locations, so we set everything up. It was a pretty smooth day all in all.
Basically, we have a greeter in there who's corralling people and telling them about the program and sending them back to our booths, and we have people, Bright Ideas staff that are educating the people who are waiting on the benefits of using the product and basically just energy conservation in general.
We have a light meter here which shows the kind of electricity you're going to be consuming and saving. This is the bulb you're going to get. This is the compact fluorescent 15-watt bulb. This only consumes around 12 watts of electricity, and compared to the normal 60-watt equivalent tungsten, the normal incandescent bulb, this is going to be consuming almost 60 watts. So you're going to be saving 75% of the electricity, and it lasts 8 to 10 times longer. So you're talking about 6,000 hours.
Incandescent bulbs,
and it lasts around 4 to 5
I wish I'd remembered the date of when the incandescent bulb technology was developed. When did Thomas Edison invent the light bulb? This is a technology that's been around for 100 years, and 95% of the electricity that goes into an incandescent light bulb is waste heat. That's why when you touch it, you burn your fingers on it. It's hot.
In a lot of cases, the light output for the energy consumption is pretty poor. But it's been around for 100 years, and that's what consumers are used to.
I was actually, before this program started, under the impression that these bulbs had a really kind of eerie blue glow. And they're nice. They're exactly like the bulbs at home, even better.
We are so impressed with the success of this program. Our expectations have already been exceeded, and we still have another weekend to go. What a wonderful way to help the Toronto area in our 12 stores really reduce energy costs, and we are so excited about meeting and beating the performance.
Extremely satisfied. This is the largest energy efficiency lighting campaign in Ontario history. We've pulled off an amazing partnership working with Toronto Hydro and the Home Depot. Our reps have been unbelievable, the true face of the program, 60 people out in store level, encouraging customers to be part of the program. How many light bulbs does it take to change Toronto? By the end of the program, we realized it's been 500,000 light bulbs, and it really has changed Toronto. And that represents millions of dollars of savings on the bills of Toronto Hydro customers. It means Home Depot customers are extremely happy because they're participating in an energy-saving event. And it means real, tangible results for Ontario in reducing its electricity demand.
I think it's great. It's a great idea. I'm slowly changing all the bulbs to this sort of bulb. That's great. Super.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm glad Toronto Hydro is making efforts to cut power usage.
There are many advantages to being environmentally friendly. So have we done enough? No. I think there's always more to do. I think we have to continually strive to get better at it and to get more and more people to think that way.
I hope the message to the customers, it's the way we will have to be in the future. Conservation is an inherent, regular part of our lifestyle now, and we just have to get there. That's what it's all about.